Well, hello everybody. I'm Dr. Prince and I'm your instructor for WebMBA 6080. I see that by now many of you have already logged on to the site, and many of you have looked at the website and sent me your LinkedIn information. I appreciate that. It'll take me a while to get through everything because I want to look at all of your profiles individually and get to know some about you. So just be patient with me as I go through those and add everybody to my network. And I appreciate all of you staying on top of that to make sure that you do get that to me. I haven't added any yet because I was waiting on Joe to get the all of you loaded into the course, because I wanted to mark off in the grade book when I checked off your LinkedIn, and I didn't have that list yet. So that's why I haven't responded to any. I've been waiting on that from him. Also, some of you were asking about not being able to see assignments. You can't assign assignments until the students are loaded, and y'all just got loaded over the weekends. And one thing you'll learn about me is, especially on Sundays, I don't do a lot of work. I may check email every once in a while, but I'm usually just seeing what's there, and I'll put it off and I'll pick up on it on Monday. And then today, normally I would have got it done, but I was in Birmingham, Alabama for a meeting and was tied up all day and wasn't able to catch up until tonight. So just be patient with me. I'll get everything straightened out now that we do finally have everybody loaded into the course. I'll get the assignments posted and you'll be able to see everything. Just for starters, I appreciate you taking the time to fill out the survey. You'll notice up here at the top that I have added the mail icon here. It wasn't overwhelmingly, but to start with, out of about 40 people that had completed the survey, 20 to 25 said that they preferred the WebCT mail. So that's what we'll go with. If you need to contact me for an emergency, something that you need to know that I'm going to get the message right then, like if you're taking an exam or something and the system shuts you down and you're not able to finish it, that would definitely qualify as an emergency. Email me at bprince@westga.edu or just call my cell phone. Otherwise, send everything through WebCT. I would prefer, if at all possible, if it's not private, if it's at all possible, post your questions in a discussion board. I'm going to have discussions for each of the assignments, exams, so on and so forth. And whichever area is appropriate, put your question there. And if you have a question before you email me, go out and look at the discussion and just scan it and see if somebody else has already asked that question. Because one of the things that takes so much time in an online course is answering multiple questions to different people. So I just like to try to use the discussion board if all possible. And sometimes you may email me personally, and I may ask you to go and post your question and my response in the discussion board for the benefit of the rest of the class. Now, like I said, by now I'm sure that most of you have seen the web page. You've seen the syllabus, the calendar, and probably looked under the course content. If you haven't, I'll just click on them real briefly. You can go read everything. These are Google documents that I've created and I've posted and published for you. I'm trying to see if there's anything particular here to mention. What you can expect from me Monday through Friday, except for holidays, or if I'm going to a conference or something, I'll respond to questions within 24 hours. What I'm going to really try to do this semester for you is get up either early every morning and spend an hour on the class Monday through Thursday for sure. Fridays will be varying here and there. Sometimes we're out of town on Fridays, but Monday through Thursday I'll spend at least an hour a day on the class answering emails and responding to your questions and just keeping you on task as to what's going on. As for weekends, the one thing that I like about academics is there's very few emergencies. You notice here my statement, there's very few emergencies that can't wait until Monday morning. But I do realize that many of you are working all week and you catch up on the weekends, so I'm not going to neglect you on Saturday and Sunday because I realize that that is when you're working. But just be patient with me because it will take me a little bit longer to get back with you on your questions. Any assignments or anything, I'll grade them and get everything back to you within 1 week. As for your emails, one of my pet peeves is getting emails from students that are very unprofessional. I get it, not so much, I don't have this problem with my graduate students, but with undergrads, I get emails that have text message lingo in them, no punctuation, no capitalization, and I have to read it 3 or 4 times to figure out exactly what they're trying to say. And I don't figure that I'll have that problem for many of y'all, but just be professional. It's not that I think I'm important, that I can't read an unprofessional email. It's just a good habit, and it's just a good habit that I like to have. I like to try to always write no matter who I'm sending a message to, write grammar and things like that. I mean, I make mistakes. We all do, but just try to be as professional as possible, because you never know where an email will end up. Okay, now that all being said, course objectives. My thoughts on an MBA is that you should have a good solid vocabulary. So we're going to use the Rayner textbook to provide us with a vocabulary. Then we're going to do some activities, assignments, group projects that are really going to apply the vocabulary. And we're going to take this course from a twofold approach. One just being the theory in the textbooks, and the second being the application that we're going to get from the long tail, from current articles in Business Week and Wall Street Journal, and probably other places as well, from your interviews with your CIO or equivalent, whoever you can get in touch with. So we're going to learn the theory, and then we're also going to look at some different types of application. WebCT calendar is not used. I don't like it. I don't like having multiple calendars, so I just put everything right there in the Google document. If everybody used a Google Calendar, then I would just put it on a Google Calendar and you could subscribe to it, but I realize everybody doesn't use a Google Calendar, even though I still may go that route one day. YouTube videos are going to be available discussing course content. I've got a couple of those posted. I'm still working on more of them because this is a new textbook, so I'm having to go back through and get familiar with some of the changes. So just hang in there with me on that. I'll have them up real soon. Within the first week or two, I'll go ahead and have all your videos posted, as well as your assignment videos. I've really been kind of bogged down for a while getting some other things finished up. We started on campus at West Georgia last week, so I was having to get all of my course material ready for those classes, and having to put this off a little bit, and also had to put it off because I didn't have the students loaded. You can read over the course policies. I believe that everything in here is standard. Let's see. Most of my stuff's going to be due at 11:59 p.m. on whatever the due date is. Most of the time due dates are going to be Sunday night because I like to give you the weekend to work on things. I pick 11:59 p.m. One of your colleagues wrote and made a good point that some people get confused when you see 12 a.m. or p.m. and they think they have until noon, when in fact it was 12 a.m., which was midnight. So 11:59 p.m., we all understand what that is. So that's why I choose that. It seems like an odd time, but it actually is pretty logical. Here's your grade breakdown. You've got four exams, 10 points. Now, here's another thing you'll learn about me. I like for things to be simple. I don't like complicated grading schemes. So everything's divisible by 5. Make it easy to add up. And it'll be posted in points out of 10 or 5. So exam 1 is 10 points. Exam 2 is 10 points. 3, 4, so on and so forth. You've got 4 different interview projects from 3 interviews. One of them, this third one here, the second one, you'll turn in 2 different parts. One will be individual and one will be a team. That's why it's split into 5 points apiece. Class discussions, Camtasia video analysis, and your final exam. Everything, it just makes it easy to add up. And then when you get to the end, you're trying to figure out what kind of grade you're looking at. You don't have to do any fancy math. Even though I know you all can do it, I just make it to where it's easy to add up for you. Obviously, I'm going to reserve the right to modify anything here, but if I do, I'm going to let you know. I'm not going to try to just trick anybody. That's not what I'm about.